Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Agreeable Gray Area podcast. As always, I am your host, Al. Right now, it is November 19th, 2022. It's practically 10:30 at night. I wanted to start recording like 2 hours ago, but I was playing with my mic, which is very responsible of me. You might notice that I sound probably a little bit different because I'm trying out some new things with the mic. And yeah, just not only is this podcast for you all, it's also for, me to learn about, like audio equipment and things like that. Like right now I'm using Adobe Audition, and that's what I've been using for the past, I don't know, maybe 5 episodes or so. And it's been, just really cool to learn the ins and outs of it. It'd be great to actually do one of those podcasts where I have like an opening music theme song sort of, well, not really like a theme song, but like an opening of some kind, and then have like some sort of closing that's a little bit more professionally, but that'll be some time down the road. I do want to apologize for how long it's been since I've recorded an episode. Um, my reasons are non-existent. It's just, like procrastination, nervousness. I'm not, well, yeah. No, I'll be honest. It's a bit like nervousness is a reason for sure. Because I told myself once I get to episode 10 that I want to actually start sharing this podcast to like my social media, like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, because why the hell not? And that's a little nerve wracking because as of right now, I've only shared it with, just a small number of folks. And, like, of course, you all are absolutely amazing. And also, if you're listening to this after I've shared it on the social media, it's not like I didn't want you to hear it. It's just, I just wasn't ready to share it on social media. I don't know how to really explain this. Okay, I'll just like flat out say it. Like I shared it with the Melanated Council and our supporters of the Melanated Council. My like I'm on a YouTube live stream every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. This is my first time really sharing it with you all. Those on, Facebook and Instagram. If you follow me on Twitter, then you know that I, shared my live stream there. But yeah, I mainly shared it to, like the Melanated Council folks. Shout out to y'all. And I've shared it with like, like a handful of people here and there. I guess I'm just been nervous in creating another episode because I'm just getting closer to episode 10. And I'm also afraid that once I get to episode 10 and share it with everyone, if I'm going to be, judged to high heavens for like, especially from like my family for like what I've said, because I honestly can't even remember a lot of the things that I've said. And, it's kind of nerve wracking. And I'm also, I'd say like my biggest fear, I mean, like, I'd say, like, if my family and how they all react is my second biggest fear, but my biggest fear is actually, once I get to episode 10 and I share it with everyone, will there be an episode 11? Will there be an episode, 12? Like, will I continue this? I have no idea. And because, like, what ends up happening, at least with me, and I hope that some of you all relate to this. Well, not in a bad way, but I have a feeling some of you all will relate to this. Like when you achieve a goal, like when you're working towards a goal and you actually achieve it, like what to do after that. And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today about, reaching your goals. Because like there's the like I guess it's sort of I see it as kind of like a hill where like you're at the bottom of the hill on one side and you can see the top of the hill and it seems kind of far. It seems kind of high and you start to trek towards it. You start to climb up and up and up and then you reach the top of the hill. And I feel like there's sort of like this thing where either like you see another hill to climb, or you can just sort of slope back down, or you just sort of stay there. And I have a fear of just kind of staying at the top of the hill and just being like, oh, I'm done. So I had a couple of things that I wanted to do for my 30th birthday. And one of them was to do a photo shoot. However, I wanted to be fit prior to doing the photo shoot, hence why I hired a trainer and I started getting fit, eating right, blah, 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 the whole 9, yada, yada. I had my photo shoot in June and yeah, the photos came out fantastic. I'll be getting the physical copy soon. And honestly, and like my trainer told me like, of course to continue working out, continue, with your fitness and everything. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like at that point, because I had started working out like April 2021, June 2022, it was like, it was over a year. And fitness had started to just pretty much become my lifestyle. Like it was part of me now, something that I never thought. But it was just the whole finishing the photo shoot, something that I've wanted to do for years, and it finally happening and it being over. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't just start slacking and there was like a massive downslope in, just keeping up with everything in terms of, my fitness. It was kind of shocking. And like, I don't know if it was like I'm not going to blame my trainer, of course not. It was just like he kind of, like right when I was getting ready for the photo shoot, I think it was like the day before or 2 days before, I worked out with him. And he was saying like, he was like, yo, are you ready for the shoot? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. He was like, what do you mean you guess so? Isn't this what we've been training for? And I was like, holy shit, yeah. Yeah, that was a massive reason why we were training. It was kind of, it was weird. Like, I was like, yeah, this is why he and I interact. It was so I can get my body ready for this particular photo shoot. And it was just kind of crazy. Like it was weird because, I'd already known him for like a whole year, like I feel like, he had become like, a big part of my life. I mean, we still see each other, like we still train with each other. Yeah. Well, he still trains me. I don't train him. Like, but it was just weird because I was like, yeah, this is why he is in my life, was so I can get fit and look hot in my photos, which I do, which was really fucking awkward to look at. I cannot deny that. If any of you are thinking about doing a photo shoot, because I guess some of you, like your first photo shoot was, like in like your senior pictures in high school. And then you probably don't really have like a professional photo shoot, maybe like with your family a bit every so often. But you don't really have a professional photo shoot until maybe like your engagement photos. But like any time between that, you don't really have a photo shoot unless you're probably like an actor and you need like headshots or you need, or if you're a model, of course. But other than that, like the average Joe or Jane doesn't really need a photo shoot. So, like it's an interesting experience. Like it's fun, and then when you see like the photos, it's like, holy shit, I really look like this. This is insane. This is weird. This is it's like you're seeing like your true self and you're like, "Oh wow. I guess I am, really attractive." I don't care how I come off saying that. It's not like I thought I was ugly. It's just I just didn't know. It's like, "Oh, I see what everybody's talking about now." And I really don't care if this comes out as a humble brag. Take it however you want. It is what it is. And yeah, so like it was just crazy. And after the photo shoot, like I definitely, like I said, I went down like a downslope. Like I was kind of drinking just as like a celebration, not a whole lot, but I was like not really caring about what I was eating as much. And I was just sort of I didn't go full slope down, but I did go down the slope a bit. I did go down the slope like a noticeable amount, and it was like it at least noticeable to me, and I didn't like it. But it was kind of it was it's like I didn't care anymore because I didn't know what I was working out to now. I didn't have a point for it anymore, if that makes sense. It's just like I'm just working out. It's like when you finish a video game, but you can still play the video game. And I'm not talking about like I mean, I guess mostly like open world kind of games. That's you can really do that. But there are some games where you could just kind of continue playing even though you beat the game and there's not really much to do. You're just sort of running around. I guess I'm talking about open world. That's sort of what it felt like. It's just like, oh, okay, I'm just working out because I want to just maintain my body. It just seemed kind of pointless. So, what I wanted to get at is, after you finish reaching your goals, like what is next? Because that's pretty much what I was struggling with. and and mind you, like this struggle didn't last very long, but it lasted long enough for me to notice it, probably like a couple of weeks. But it was just like I just felt it just felt pointless. I wasn't hating working out. I just didn't have anything to work out for, which, just reiterating. But if I were to tell you what my goals are in terms of fitness, it's kind of embarrassing, but it helps me, it's whatever, it helps me. Like, and I've told, like a handful of people the reason. Like, I essentially just want to be like, like if you ever saw Bridgerton, like the first season with Lady Danbury talking to Simon, who's played by Regé-Jean Page. When she was talking to the child version of him, like Simon had a stutter, he had a stammer, and Lady Danbury was pretty much telling him that he needs to boost his confidence. So she said that she wanted to be the most ferocious thing in the room. And that's kind of my goal. I think that would be really fucking dope, honestly, just to be the most ferocious thing in the room. Because I've definitely been in the room where someone comes in and it's intimidating. And just like that kind of power that person just upholds just by their presence, And it's not, I shouldn't say it's like intimidating in a bad way. It's like intimidating in a, you gotta respect this bitch kind of way. You gotta respect this person. It's like, okay, this person, I want to say like, I don't know if demands respect. I guess so. I guess so. And, call it what you will. You could call it, shallow or whatever. My reasons for working out, 99% of them are shallow reasons. I already knew all the positive reasons for working out anyway. So, like, I knew it will, help boost energy, help boost confidence, help with mitigating depression, um, make you feel healthier overall. Like, like I knew all the positive benefits of working out and getting fit. Like, who doesn't? I feel like it's like the equivalent of people who know the side effects of smoking cigarettes. There's not a single smoker on the planet who doesn't know these things. So, or a non-smoker too. There's not a single person on the planet who doesn't know the side effects of smoking cigarettes. And there's not a single person who knows the side effects or like the positive, things for working out. But no one is like brave enough. I shouldn't say brave enough. I hate that term brave. I don't know, especially like in nowadays, it's like, oh, no one wants to talk about this. Like, shut the fuck up. People talk about it. You're just not listening to the people who actually do talk about it. Or they probably just say it in a way that you're just not understanding. um, but I do feel that people don't really talk about why, people get into fitness or, start to work out. It's like a lot of it is just for shallow reasons. I'm just like, okay, let me just continue on that shallow path and see how far this can go, which, is totally harmless. Like, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not going to disappoint anyone by, looking and feeling amazing. It's, it's completely harmless. It can only help myself. So I'd say like the best way to continue after like whatever goal that you may have reached, you just have, and if you want to continue, because that's a whole other thing too. If you want to continue, you have to like create a whole other goal to kind of, move the needle forward. A lot of entrepreneurs I know always say to, not have one big giant goal, but to have like little tiny small goals that kind of work up to the big goal. So like let's say you're, like you sell cupcakes and you want to sell really like funky like just weird cupcakes, like you want to use like hot sauce or jalapeno or some shit. But you're just really good at, utilizing those things. You probably should, create just normal cupcakes at first and, like your vanilla, your chocolate, and then try to do like a slight spin on something, like a pepper jelly, something that people are familiar with, but, probably never had in like a cupcake form. And, in this hypothetical scenario, you're just badass at making cupcakes, so just bear with me. And then, you see like the reception of that instead of just going balls to the wall and creating a whole bunch of like funky, weird, spicy cupcakes with no like normal cupcakes. Because if you're just trying to, get off the ground, you got to start kind of low. So, okay, the first goal is like, okay, I'm making cupcakes and people are buying it and enjoying it. Okay, I made this pepper jelly one. Okay, it's going really well. People, it's, great reception. Okay, let me try to go a little bit further, and then boom, I am now the spicy cupcake lady. That's like another way to continue on a goal rather than just, okay, I made pepper jelly cupcake, okay, I'm done, sort of thing. That's, of course, if you want to continue whatever goal it is. If you just have the goal to just make one knitted hat and that's all you want to do, then that's great. For example, when I was doing stand-up comedy, I've always just wanted to perform. There was a time when I really wanted to like make that into more of a living. But as I got older and like realized like the amount of work that it took, I realized I just didn't want to I didn't want to do that work. I really did not. It wasn't my pace, it wasn't my cup of tea. like what I had to do, what I had to endure, I wouldn't mind, going back on stage. Of course, it's fucking terrifying. It's not as easy as it looks, but I wouldn't mind going back on stage. And I'm even thinking about writing again, writing some jokes. But to, actually start to pursue it like I did before, I don't really think it's for me. However, I am glad that I did it at least. So I don't have to have that thought of, well, oh my goodness, I've never did the thing that I've always wanted to do for, since I was like 13. So I did it. I never performed at like the improv or something like that. I never had like my face on like a promo, but I pursued it on a very small scale. I enjoyed it, but it is so fucking grueling. Like staying out on a weeknight until like 10, 11 p.m., driving all over the place, and, coming home and then going to sleep and having to come to work. It is too much. Like, if you go into the stand-up comedy life, that is your life. And yeah, in closing, I sound really fucking professional saying that, but I still don't know how to close these podcasts. So, yeah, like in closing, when it comes to going after your goals, and if it's something that you want to continue, and if it's something that you can continue, maybe just create small goals that you just work towards consistently until it becomes like a really big goal. Or you could just do the goal and call it a day if that's how you feel. That's totally fine too. But overall, I highly recommend, if you have an endeavor that you want to pursue, definitely pursue it, because you don't want to regret it once you get older, or like once you get into a situation in your life where you don't feel like you can do it anymore. So it's just better to start now than trying to find like the quote unquote best time to start, because that shit doesn't exist. I wanted to say this at the beginning. My bad. I don't know how to fucking start a podcast or end one, as you can all see. But I did want to thank you all who have been pushing me to create another episode. I knew I was going to create another episode eventually. I just kept fucking procrastinating. And now you know why. It's because I'm just afraid of getting to episode 10. Like, I'm excited, but I'm afraid. I guess that's like apprehension. And yeah, like it's just, it's nerve-wracking. But, thank you so much all for, pushing me. And, thank you all for, who listen and enjoy it. And also thank you for those who listen and really fucking hate this podcast. Like, I appreciate that too. Thank you to those who, text me, talk to me about it, and ask it like, oh, when's the next episode? Like that means so much to me. You don't even know. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening, and stay tuned for another episode whenever I create it, which will be soon. Trust me, it'll be very, very soon. So yeah, y'all have a good one.